Let me introduce our next speaker. He's Anthony Rawlings. He's co-founder of Digital Visitor, and he co-founded Digital Visitor in 2005, and the organization's rapidly grown into the Southwest's leading video production online marketing consultancy, and have a range of clients, and they include Visit Britain, Alton Towers, Premier Inn, and the Doyle Collection, which we used to know as Juries. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Anthony.
Hello. Let me just. That's how it works. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. I'm Anthony Rawlings, co-founder of Digital Visitor. Digital Visitor was set up early 2005, really at the beginning of the online video boom. We originally was to be able to provide cost-effective production and online video for the leisure and tourism industry, and we did feel that there was an opportunity that was being missed by a number of organizations. If you find, YouTube was actually quite recently launched around then. Online video was a bit of a mystery, and we really very quickly took hold of this and showed leisure and tourism businesses how they could utilize online video. The principles behind what we were offering was cost effectivity, quality production, and global online distribution. In a very short space of time, 4 years or so, we have become the largest producer of leisure and tourism video in the UK. And we've recently turned our sights towards user-generated content and social media, offering solutions for commercial organizations to be able to utilize this on their own terms. Why social media? I might well skip this slide because it's very much preaching to the converted of the people that are here, but let's go through that. Everybody knows, of course, social media, user-generated content really does, provide that authentic information. Some of the key points that people really don't completely get to grips with all the time, though, is that it is your online visitors contributing to your own marketing. We've got proven statistics that it really does help increase the browse time, and also it's an excellent source of driving traffic organically to your website. So, on to Visitor Review. Visitor Review is a product that we've developed for user-generated content and for businesses. We developed this in answer to a client request. They wanted a system to be able to gather text, photos, and video comments on their own website within their own branded space. They wanted this to be able to link into other sites as well. But they wanted to have control over the content. This was a government organization, therefore, as it was also a membership organization, it was potentially difficult for them to have maybe negative reviews on there of organizations paying membership to themselves. So they needed control over the content. Obviously, it needed to be cost-effective for them, as many government-funded organizations require these things to be. And that's a brief overview of what we did with Visitor Review as a product. So the main focus of this presentation is really going to look at what we're doing with Visit Britain, and what we're doing with Britain as a national tourism agency and the other organisations within Britain that help promote it. So, Visit Britain is one of our largest clients. They are the national tourism agency of this country, the official one. Government-funded organisation, of course, and, really responsible for bringing in over £120 billion of tourism into this country. They are, required to have a contribution towards that and really move that forward. They have only been our client for a short space of time, but I think once we go through this presentation, you'll agree that in that time, we've really moved on leaps and bounds with them. First of all, Visit Britain have recently launched their own TV channel. It's an online TV channel, Visit Britain TV. And what this has done is it's grouping the largest amount of professional video content for the tourism industry in the UK. Hotel videos, etc., and they're all free of charge to kind of add them there. So I would suggest that if you're looking for another channel of exposure, that you do utilize this. We have provided half of the launch volume of content here for this site as well. So, through our relationship with them, we introduced our product Visitor Review, which was in fact initially developed for a different tourist board, and it has been live on Visit Britain's website since December 2008, really. But with this, what we've done is we've developed a national strategy for them so that they can very clearly see how they are firstly able to build the largest amount of media content and leisure and tourism reviews and content for the UK. That's the aim. And also how they can increase and get excellent exposure and distribution for this content. So here's the Visit Britain homepage. It gets over 25 million views per annum. From one of the sections there, you can see your comments and reviews. If we click on this section, it transports you into their visitor review platform. This is the platform that we developed for them, branded for them, designed as they wished it to be. It's got all the standard kind of navigation that you would expect, search, categories, etc. They control the advertising on this site. You know, it's all down to them. All roads lead back to Rome, in that all the links from this site link straight back to Visit Britain, of course. And they're able to change images, descriptions as they see fit. Now, within the tourism network of the UK, I don't know how much everybody knows about the way that the tourist boards and regional agencies are structured, but essentially, you've got Visit Britain, which is a central organisation, but around them, you have regional agencies as well. And these include, well, Enjoy England, Visit Scotland, Visit Wales, and Visit Regions of Wales. There's also other organisations and regional agencies, such as the North West Development Agency and the East of England. These are tourist boards or destination management organisations. Now, what our strategy is to provide each of these organisations as well with their own system. And within their own branded UGC system, where they collect online videos, photos, and comments, that can all get fed up to the central Visit Britain system. Now, what we wanted to do as well is, as we're getting all these reviews and this content, we wanted, on a regional basis, to be able to provide that hub of information. So by creating the North West's own visitor review and regional information, that can group the North West Tourist Board's information, Visit Liverpool, Cumbria Marketing Manchester, Lancashire and Blackpool, and Visit Chester. So each of these sites within the North West get 1 million plus visitors, I don't know if it's per month, well, sorry, per annum at the moment, at least that. And so they're all feeding into a central Northwest site, and all the reviews captured on these sites can feed into there. So the content on Visit Chester, for example, will be on Visit Chester. It can appear on the Northwest platform, and it can appear on Visit Britain. So reviews added for Chester really help promote through 3 different avenues, each getting over 1 million views per annum. Now, on another level, and this is kind of the third dimension really that we're looking at, Visit Chester itself is a membership organisation, and the way that they work is they have about 400 members, leisure and tourism providers, visitor attractions, hotels, other accommodation providers, restaurants, etc. What we're doing here is each of these members, again, is able to have their own branded platform to gather user-generated content on their own site and on their own terms that they can control. This content can then get fed through to Visit Chester, which in turn gets put through to the North West Development Agency system and Visit Britain and all the other sites where that content would work. So overall, really, the implications of this strategy are that, as you can see, using that model with so many sites out there and so many people visiting so many of these sites, by feeding this information through, we're developing an incredibly large media network and review network for Visit Britain. But, you know, please don't forget that each of the individual sites as well that uses this system benefits from review content, increased interaction, increased browse time, and, of course, organic search engine traffic directing to their website from their visitor review platform. This is phase 1. And this really does allow for smaller providers, potentially Visit Chester, or, well, Chester Zoo, for example, to get exposure, obviously through the different channels we said, but for them to be able to receive this exposure, or for a small bed and breakfast to go through to Visit Britain and have their review content displayed to an international audience is really something quite special for them. Phase 2, however, is what do we do with this content now that we have it all? And obviously we're building this up at the moment and building the network. Well, each of the platforms that we've created, we're able to distribute any of that content via tags and categories to any other sites or pages on their own website. So via MOSS feed and XMO, we can display, for example, on Visit Britain, just the reviews of Bristol on the Bristol page, just the reviews of visitor attractions on the visitor attractions section. And this can be done for any kind of categorization we can do and any tagging that's done within the system as well. So this information that we're currently working on is we're distributing this to providers and major distributors all over the world. We are beginning to develop relationships and already have some established with various organizations to display this content. Now, one thing I'll mention now, which maybe a number of people in the room might well be able to take advantage of, is obviously as Visit Britain is a well, not really, a non-for-profit organisation as such. They're government funded and their responsibility is to bring tourism into this country. They are providing this content to leisure and tourism providers and businesses within the UK free of charge. They are picking up the tab as such for their bandwidth and hosting. And this is to drive traffic for people to see what the UK has to offer. So there's potentially some conversations to be had there. So far the benefits for Visit Britain are, of course, increased browse time, which we've had a quick chat about. It's also, of course, building their own archive of media content and reviews. By no means am I saying, don't use excellent organisations such as TripAdvisor and YouTube, etc., to use this social media and content. But I am saying, try and put a strategy in place potentially to build your own archive of content as well, which could last you well into the future. One of the other things I will mention is that you can also get access to this content uncompressed. So Visit Britain actually are creating this archive of photos and videos, and they can access this uncompressed content through their CMS and use that in additional channels of their marketing, so that it can be used years to come if they're excellent, if a photo competition is run, they can utilize those photos in various different elements of their marketing as well. Also, currently, Visit Britain are number one, the Visit Britain visitor review site is number one for Britain travel reviews and reviews of Britain, and this has, only been live for a few months. The more content that's going to be added on there, obviously it will be higher ranking for other search terms and wider search terms as well. These are the quick features of the actual system of visitor review. Access to uncompressed content is what I have mentioned. User profiles are also available in there, so people can create their own profiles. You can really build your online community. Visitors to the visitor review platform can have a playlist of all the reviews they've added. They can subscribe to feeds of reviews from specific destinations or tagged information. So if you particularly want to receive all the wildlife content that comes in from Bristol, then that's possible. And also there are little things like adding comments to reviews, automatically emails the author of a review, which then encourages them to visit the site again. So how else can this model be applied to different organisations? Well, some of the other organisations we're working with, and we operate in a few countries now. In Kenya, for example, we're working with a really nice kind of chain of safari lodges. And they have a central platform, and then each of their lodges has a platform as well that this information feeds into. It's a very cost-effective solution, which is why providers, obviously in different countries as well, can take advantage of this. Similarly, it could work equally as well. Whilst we've got a national model here for Britain, this could work for groups of visitor attractions, tour operators, hotel chains, of course. No, thanks. Perfect then. As a summary, social media and UGC can obviously be very cost effective. I think that the message I'd like to leave really is please think about building your own library and archive of content. And this material, of course, can be used in your other marketing in many ways. So do think about building your own community. And thank you very much for your time.